All right, test 3. All bolts are tight. Drive shafts are on. How's it so far?
Well, that sucks. I think it might be a blown rear diff, which is not going to be fun. And keep me in your prayers for getting the Granite Grand back on the ground and ready to go. And yeah.
What is going on, guys? It is me, your boy John with Grand Exploration, and welcome to, I don't even know what this episode is. This is more of like an update. I know that I've been gone for a little while, and thank you guys for being patient and bearing with me. It's been a crazy month and a half. You know, as you guys know, I broke the Granite Grand on a trail ride. Ended up being the rear diff after we checked so many other things like the transfer case chain, the CVs, and ended up being the rear diff. I mean, there would have been a simpler way to figure that out, but we're learning. I never claimed to be a smart guy, just a guy that works hard. So we finally got the rear diff fixed on the Granite Grand. She's up and running. And as you probably noticed, there's something a little different, but we'll get into that in a second. I just want to, you know, from the bottom of my heart, start off by saying thank you guys. I know I've been MIA. I kind of fell off the grid a little bit, and that is because, you know, with not only the diff needing to get fixed and and the Jeep being down, but unfortunately, my father actually passed away a couple weeks back. And I know you guys have been praying for my dad, and it means so much. He was suffering from a very rare heart disease, and he just really declined fast. And yeah, it's been a hard one for real. My dad, before he passed, we were joking and talking about him going on a trip with us. He really wanted to see, you know, the Alvord Desert, and he loved that video we did, the Hawaii's and Timber Gulch. So it definitely hit hard. I spent my whole life trying to make my dad proud. I know he was always proud of me. He loved me to death, but I love my dad so much. And I think we're gonna go on a trip here real soon, and me and a couple buddies, and I'm gonna spread some of his ashes out on those places he wanted to see. Oh man, I'm getting choked up. So it'll be a good way to kind of celebrate his life. And yeah, he was my hero, for real. But I'm gonna not get too deep into this before it's just a whole sob video of me crying my eyes out. I know my dad's watching down. He's in the arms of Jesus right now, and you know, it should be a happy time. He's in no more pain. He's not suffering. And you know what? I'm gonna tell you guys this. I kept it close to my heart, but I love you guys too. So I'll let you a little bit in on my life. But the day that my dad passed, that day I saw him the worst he'd ever been. And he finally kind of opened his eyes. He's having trouble breathing. And I kind of went up to him and I was like, hey man, you ready for that trip? And sorry, there's a helicopter right there. And, you know, he can't really answer me, but he was looking up, and I said, you know what, man, don't worry about it. Go ahead and be with Jesus. I got this. And I kissed him on his head. And literally right when I did that, he took his last breath, man. So you can't tell me there's not a God, man. God was listening, and he allowed my dad to leave that pain and suffering. And so I really thank God for that. And one of my favorite videos, which is one of my least popular videos, but it's dear to my heart, is the one trip I did on YouTube with my dad. We went to go shoot, and check that out. It's right here. You may not care about it, but it means a lot to me. And that was the last time I got to go shoot with my dad. Yeah, but we're gonna keep it pushing, man. Like I said, I told him I got this. We're gonna keep wheeling. So thank you guys for your support, because you guys are the reason why this channel is growing. So I always want to hear from you guys on what you like to see, what you don't like to see, and I try to incorporate it so that I can keep y'all entertained. And I hope you guys are loving the channel so far. But let's get into a little bit of what I did on the Granite Grand. Now, I'm still doing some work. I got some tools on the ground because these things don't quite fit perfectly. And that's because they are 35 by 11 and a half on some Defiant DF01 wheels. It's in 17 by 8. Let's check these things out. Oh, and if you haven't hit subscribe, smack the subscribe button, please. I really appreciate it. It costs you nothing, and it means the world to me. All right. All right, guys. This is the Granite Grand and her new set of shoes. Man. So, what we got here is 35 by 11 and a half Nitto trail grapplers. I was going to originally go with my Yokohama Geolanders because I love them so much, but it seems like the trail grapplers are the only ones that come in this size for an MT, at least the ones I could find. And as far as durability and all that good stuff, they're pretty neck and neck with the Yokohamas. And I've seen what Nitto trail grapplers can do. The pros bang these things up and they just keep pushing. And for the wheels, these are complements of Defiant wheels and OE wheels. They sponsored these wheels for me on Instagram. They sent these out to me, and these things are beautiful. They come in 2 colors. You can get all satin black, or you can get the gloss black with the machine ring like I did. I thought I'd switch things up a little bit. I love this ring. It kind of just pops a little bit. I have other accents that are machined, like my Factor 55 hitch and my B Woody gear all up underneath as far as sway bar links and tie rods and all that good stuff. But these are a 17 by 8. They fit perfectly because I don't have the HD brakes, but if you do, you may have an issue. And they come in a positive 12 offset, which for fitment on this vehicle, I had to poke it out just a little bit. So we're sitting at a little bit more poke than I did with my Yokohamas. And this is a 0 offset. With the plus 12 offset of the wheels, I added a 1/2 inch Titan accessories spacer. It's not a full spacer, just like a little skinny shim that fits right on your lugs. And I think the stance looks awesome. Let's check it out. Let's back up a little bit. Yeah, she's sitting mean right now. Now, in order to do this, it's not too bad. They fit pretty good, but you do got to do a little bit of work. Now, as far as suspension goes, I have the Dobinson 2.5 inch IMS lift, accompanied with the 6 Monkeys shims in the front and his spacer kit, rear coil spacer kit in the rear. So I have a full 3 inch lift, and I also on the front cut my plastic fender, just like you see in the rear. The rears still have them because it's a little more involved to take these ones off because the rears are part of the door. So you need to cut and re-weld, but I'm not getting any rub in the back. I know it might rub a little bit off-road, which I'll deal with that if it's too bad. And then on the inside, it's going to just barely brush against the pinch weld here. The proper thing to do would be to go ahead and cut this right here and then re-weld the cap back on, pushing this back a little bit. You do need to re-weld it because it's layers of steel that are sandwiched together, so you don't want that to be opened. You need to seal it back up. The other thing that it may touch, which mine barely does, is the subframe bracket. Now, 6 Monkeys Off-Road, they make a new bracket that allows for the fitment of that 35 So I will be doing that so that I can get full crank. But right now I can drive normal on the streets. I haven't gone off road yet, but I can drive normal on the streets. It's just it rubs a little bit on full crank. So I'm very happy with these things. She looks sick. Tell me what you guys think in the comments. And just so you know, the wheels are not a true bead lock. It's just a protective ring there. The wheel itself comes at 37 pounds. And I believe the trail grapplers are at 73 pounds. So it kind of evens out my old setup. I still got the Yokohama on here. I haven't lifted up the trail grappler to put on the back yet, but I think it's a little over 100 pounds. And honestly, driving on the highway, I'm not really feeling too much lag. She feels really nice. The trail grapplers, even though they're an MT, man, I'm telling you, it's like, it doesn't feel like I'm driving on an MT. It feels like I'm driving on maybe not even an all-terrain. It feels like a road tire, literally. And these things are brand new, fresh off the press. So they make zero noise. Like, I don't hear anything at all. Maybe I'm just used to the MTs, but I know that the Trail Grappler and the Yokohama are some of the quietest MTs. Now, that's not to say when they start wearing down, they're probably going to make some more noise, but right now these things are quiet. I love it. It's been working good. So I'm going to get to cutting on these things, and we're going to be heading out on the trails next week. We're going out to Oregon, I believe, if everything stays as planned. I know we had a couple guys drop out, but so far everything looks promising. So we're going to go hit the Hawaii's, and yeah, hopefully nothing happens in between that. But I know this was a short video, guys. I just wanted to give you all a little bit of an update on what's been going on with the channel, because I have been off the grid. It's been like 3 weeks I haven't come out with a video. So thank you guys for still tagging along and being loyal to me. I really appreciate it. And yeah, guys, we're gonna be on the trail real soon. I'm getting the Granite Grand dialed in, and we're gonna have some fun. So if you haven't hit subscribe, please smack that subscribe button. Once again, also thank you guys for your prayers on my dad. You know, he ended up passing away, but that was a blessing in itself, because he's happy now, and I know he trusted me to take over as the man of the family. So I'm not going to let him down with that, and I'm going to keep exploring and seeing things he wished he could have, all for him. So like always, guys, I love you. Peace.